Looking at the diagram for the early Aston Martin DBS heating and ventilation system, we have the system laid out here as best we can. This is only one side of the car, these being the right side components, and of course the heater valve, which is also vacuum operated. So what I've tried to do for you is to set up, we're going to have a little noise here because we're going to have the compressor going, which we'll just turn on now. There's our little vacuum compressor, and away it goes. So it's going to make some background noise, so I'm going to have to talk over the compressor. So here we are, and if you notice the front air intake now, once the car is idling, it is closed. You can see that there's no air coming through. You can also see that this damper here is shut, so there's no air coming through, and that is with the dial in the off position. Now if we want some fresh air, we're in California, so we're going to just say, oh, it's a nice day and I'd like a little fresh air, and you'll see what happens here. The front air intake with a little fresh air opens. I'm going to close it again so I can show you the other component. There's this damper inside, and you see it also closed. Now that closes away. That's the floor right there, so this is on its side so you can see what's going on. Here's what the vacuum actuator looks like. It's the long one. It moves this lever arm. You get the point. Inside here is the blower motor. The car has two of them, a little squirrel cage. So this is on the setting now. When we do this, the front air intake opens all the way. This damper closes, so air is going through into the cold air box. If you look up here, there's a trap door. This is for heat. When you turn the heat on, that little trap door opens. Everything's moving a little slowly because we've only got a small vacuum pump, but the Aston Martin engine should put out a lot more vacuum than that little fella there. Now if you notice, I know the lighting's not that good, and I apologize about that. I've made a little trap door cover here so that when the door is closed, it's closing now, it actually sits positively against this trap door cover, so you're not going to get hot air when you don't want it. That's one of the complaints of the Aston Martin system on the early DBS cars. Now there's another component here. This is the floor. There's two of these, and this is for the cold side. So I'm going to hold this up for you, and you'll see that it is now closed and the position is off. So when we want some fresh air, the front opens, the damper opens, and now this one is going to go on the demist setting. So now air is going to come out through the top vents to the windscreen. Okay, remember everybody, this is the cold side only. I'm turning the valve now, back to off, it closes, and when it's off, of course, you have no more air coming in, you have no more air coming into the air box because that damper is now shut. So that's the cold side. So let's get some heat now. It's nice in England, it's very cool. We turn our heater on, and the first thing that opens is again going to be the front. The same thing happens. This damper closes. All the heat is transferred now into the heater matrices, which are right about here. And you see that little trap door is going to open as we move the dial throughout the range. We want more and more heat. There it is. It's opening up, and that allows all of the heat, the air coming through, to go into the heater matrix. We can close that if we want less heat. Now we haven't mentioned this little heater valve. There's only one way I could check it, and that's just to blow through it. So I've been doing that all day. I'm probably out of breath. But as you rotate the dial here, it opens up and you can get flow through there. And that, of course, is going to feed your heater matrices. Now we haven't talked about the floor. I'm going to go back to off here. So this is our floor and defrost. It's the hot side. It's located on the component sheet here. In the parts book you can see that. And there they are down there. That would be items, check my focus here, 25 and 31. Those are the items there. So assembly 25 and 31, and their components 26 and 32. 26 and 32 are your hot side. The cold side are closer to the middle. That's 39 and 30. So here we are. We're going to take a look. Oh, and look, it's closed, and the dial is off. And when I go ahead and move the dial, focus, and it opens up when we want to defrost. There you go. And you can see why, because it's going to divert air this way through this tube that connects with all of your defrost and demist. You can see there's triangles there, so look for number 12, item 12 on this sheet. This is from the parts book. We're going to go back and turn off. So once we go off the demist, defrost, you can see that damper now close. That's the hot side again. Here's the floor cold side. When we want nice cool air and we want to demist, it opens again. Again, these components are working pretty slowly because we don't have a full amount of vacuum. But when I put a vacuum pump on all these, they work very, very quickly. Very well done. Odd Parts. Jim Simpson did a great job to rebuild these for us. Once again, you can see this action going. That closes off the air and lets it go through to the heater matrix, fresh air, and there's our front. Once you close it off, that shuts off all air to the car. Hope you've enjoyed this. OHMSSDBS.com, on Her Majesty's Secret Service, DBS.com.